So today we're going to take a look at 100 Thieves versus Soniqs on Breeze. And if you remember, or you're a regular viewer of this channel, you'll know that I did a video about 100 Thieves, the new look 100 Thieves on Breeze, and it looked really, really bad. It looked like that they just didn't know what they were doing on this map, but they played yesterday and they won 13-4 against Soniqs on Breeze. And so it looks like, they've put the time into this map now and they kind of understand what they're doing on this map, and it looks a lot better. And I could have made a video about Sentinels losing, but it would have just been much the same stuff, and I didn't want to depress you all. So, for all you 100 Thieves fans out there, let's get the hopium building. And let's start here with round number 8. So 100 Thieves are defending here and Soniqs are attacking. This round is actually more about Soniqs, I would say, but anyway, it's an interesting round to talk about because what's happened is Soniqs actually started towards B. They put up this Viper wall. They actually popped a KO ult as well, droned in with the Sova as kind of a fake, and you can see that it kind of worked. It drew some rotations, the 3 players on B, but actually then they just came back to A instead. And so they're about to start attacking this A site, but we have this drone from the 100 Thieves Sova who's going to, spot out the jet here. And because they spot the jet, and obviously that's the duelist, and so you're expecting them to be part of the attack. What's going to happen is we're going to get this rotate. So they get the Viper Orb down in 2, but what's about to happen here is there's 45 seconds left in the round. But what we're about to get is the Sova darting over here. But now what we're going to see in this round is just Soniqs' kind of mismanagement in terms of like comboing utility, or the timing of utility is just completely off in this round because they have a good thing going here. This is a round that they can easily win because, they've dragged a couple of rotations. That did work at the start. So there's still 2 people there on B, even though they've seen the jet now. They have control of cave, so they can come in this way. They have control of hall, so they can open the door and come this way. And the Sova actually has the ability to come in here as well. So there's a 3-pronged attack ready and waiting onto this A site, which is normally pretty deadly anytime you can get that going well for you. So it should be pretty good for Soniqs, but you're going to see that just like the utility not being used correctly, or not in combination really as a team, is going to really cost them in this round. And we're actually going to see a round from 100 Thieves who do a similar sort of thing where it does work and it looks a lot better, and so I'll show you that a bit later. But let's just watch this Sova, because this Sova is going to dart in here, right? You just saw it and it gets destroyed. But the thing is, look at where the team are. The team just aren't ready for this at all, right? They're nowhere near to actually getting in onto the site. And then this Viper Orb has just dropped as well. Okay, and so this is kind of bizarre to me. I don't quite know why Soniqs do this, but they choose when this Viper Orb is down to actually make their move to go through the hole, which I don't really get because they have to use double jet smokes to do it. And that is a big problem because it allows this, right? And what normally happens is you normally get the jet smoke here as the door is opening so that you can sneak out either way, right? And so that this doesn't happen to you, because what's able to happen is Stellar is able to get the kill on the jet as the door opens. Now they are able to trade that one out, but again, this Viper Orb is still not up, right? They didn't have that patience to just wait for that Viper Orb to recharge, and I don't really know why, because they have more than enough time. Okay, 30 seconds is plenty of time to get onto the site. And so this actually caused them a lot of problems because this chamber trap was actually down here, but you can see it's gone off over here again because this Viper Orb isn't up. Okay, so it's just about patience. There wasn't patience with the Sova dart. There wasn't patience with putting the Viper Orb back up, which meant that now you have no jet smokes whilst you're opening the door, which costs you the jet life. You can see all the problems, and this is going to cause more problems because the chamber trap goes off and Will is able to get a free kill there and then even peek out again and get another kill. And so all of a sudden you're in a 4v2 from a position where it actually looked very good for Soniqs. And as we run this forward a bit quicker, what's going to happen is they're going to be able to find these final couple kills as well. We get a bit of a weird trade there. We're going to get a 1-for-1 there, and it's left all on Dizzy Life to clutch this 1v3. He's able to get one, but what's going to happen is they're going to jet smoke off the bomb, and Asuna is just going to peek out here on that right hand side, get the final kill and defuse the spike. Good overall round from 100 Thieves, but you can see how just like slight mismanagement in terms of timings of utility can really cost you. And now let's come to round number 10. And if you watched my other video on 100 Thieves and their defensive setup, you'll know that it made no sense before. But let me explain for those of you who haven't seen it. Basically, what they would do is they would have the jet and the KO here on mid doors. The chamber would be on A, the Sova would be an elbow here, and the Viper would be on B. Okay, and what they were doing a lot was aggressing in mid here. But the problem that they had was if anyone went up hall and opened the door on the attacking side, this player on A would have to deal with that and people in cave, which is an impossible task to do, and they were just getting caught out by that over and over and over again. And that's basically how they kept losing, is that setup just did not work. But you can see that they've changed it for this game, because now we've got the Jet and KO here instead. We've got the Sova in here. The Chamber is actually in Hall this time, and the Viper is still on B. And the difference with this setup is if they go where you don't have anyone watching, which would just be the A site, well, then no one is dying. You'll just end up in a 5v5 retake, and that is fine. That is perfectly fine. Whereas what was happening before is people were going up here where no one was, and this Chamber, who was on A site, was just dying all the time because he was having to watch multiple angles. So it's a much better setup overall. You understand that you're playing retake on A, you have a solid foundation if you want to go for this mid aggression, which they seem to like. So here is the round. We are going to get this really cool flash from Soniqs through the pillar here. I mean, look at this flash. Kind of cool. But we also get a KO knife from 100 Thieves here from Asuna down in elbow, as we saw. We get the Sova dart that's going to land towards elbow as well. And the Jet here, Crunchy, he's going to come and dash up onto this box. But the thing is, if we look at the map, what's going to happen is Will has actually, and Asuna are going to push down. The thing is, Will is going to actually manage to ignore this flash because he's on this side of the wall, but then as soon as the dart comes in here, he's then going to be able to tuck behind the other side of the wall to avoid the dart as well. So he basically found the perfect timing and pathing to manage to avoid both of them. And so what that allows him to do is get the kill on Crunchy, who obviously isn't expecting him to be there, and Will is able to updraft away and escape as well. And now they stick to their plan. Right, they're still going to play retake on A, and so they just set up a nasty little crossfire on this B site that's really, really going to be difficult to deal with. I mean, you got Asuna checking mid, you got the Viper going between mid and this way, and you got Will here just watching this. So if Will died here, the Viper could just swing out. Actually, Will is able to get the kill, and now Asuna shoots from back towards the pillar, and they just mop up these final couple kills and win the round. Really good change from 100 Thieves. You can tell that, they put in the work on this map now, and they have a much sort of more solid foundation, I would say, for the map overall on their defensive side. But whilst there has been some improvement for 100 Thieves, there is still room for improvement as well. And this is just a common mistake you see a lot of pro players making, which is they think that they're just the best player in the world and can hit every shot. And obviously they can't, and would be much better playing, higher percentage fights and things like that. And we're going to see that really in this round quite a bit, because we start with this Sova drone. And what Soniqs are going to do is they're just going to group up, KO ult, and go for a B hit here. You can see that Asuna gets tagged by the drone. He runs away, but we're about to just, get a KO ult there. And the thing is, let's pause here, right? So they've just KO ulted. And I just want you to take note of Will's position here behind this box. Behind this box, he's perfectly safe, right? Playing by the wall there. He's perfectly fine. And, can sort of just play a bit passive. Normally when a KO ult comes in, you don't have any utility. You are going to play a bit passive and you aren't going to try and do anything. But Will, for whatever reason, he's kind of just all alone. He's going to come across here and just swing out. Now, he actually gets a bit lucky, I think, that it's actually only the Jet that's far enough to see him. He actually doesn't know that when he swings out, though. This could be 5 people just standing in here, all about to gun him down. So it's a really bad decision by Will, and obviously he doesn't have a dash because he's suppressed as well. So I don't really know why he chooses. I mean, there he goes, right? And I don't really know why he chooses to take that fight, and so he dies to Crunchy. Interestingly enough, though, Asuna got far enough away to where he's able to pop his KO ult as well. So now it's a weird situation where no one's about to have any utility, and you can see there's a KO molly here coming in from Asuna, who's like the one who was just far enough away to not get suppressed. He also pops in a flash as well, which will flash Dizzy Life, and so they are able to get that next kill as well. Whilst that's gone on, though, Asuna has then died to Rooney, and so we're in kind of a 4v3, because he could be res, but it's a 4v3, let's say. The thing is now, though, Bang, again, is going to kind of make the same mistake as well, where he's just chasing a kill. He's just desperate to get a kill. He's going to end up in a really bad position, because he's just going to end up chasing round here. You'll see what I mean. Like, he just puts himself wide out into the open, right? And so what's going to happen is this KO is just going to swing from down here, and you can see that that's going to be a big problem for him, and he's going to die as well. So we end up in kind of a 3v2, because Asuna will die. But then Stella from Nest, he's in Nest. He's going to be able to find Iron down here with his op. So we end up in a 2v2 instead. And so, okay, 2v2. Let's see what happens. So the spike goes down, 2v2. The KO is going to die. And now we're going to see Soniqs. I mean, it's a bit ambitious, I think, what Soniqs do here. They send in that recon dart, but now they're going to send in this like flash, and you could see that Derek there was already way turned for that, right? They're going to send in this flash here, and the Silver's going to peek with it. It's a bit ambitious for how like long that flash is in the air, and you know it's right at them. So, you know, they're going to have time to see it and react to that. And they're going to be able to turn the flash. So I don't know if this is the right play. It's like, it's an okay play, but you know, the chances are one of the two of them is going to be able to avoid the flash and get the kill, which they do. So now Soniqs is in a 1v2 and a nice little double swing there from 100 Thieves. Together, they manage to win the round. Now let's take a look at round 13. So this is the attacking pistol round for 100 Thieves, and this was probably the best round in the entire game. We're going to see what I kind of mentioned about that Soniqs execute in the first round. We're going to see a really good version of that, okay? And in fact, this one, they only actually are going to go two ways. They're just going to come up through hall and go through cave. So they don't have the mid control to go through there. You can see they've got this Viper wall up that's going to cover off mid and the end of hall there as well. But what they're going to do is going to go up hall. Asuna is going to find the first kill with just a really nice shot here on Rooney. But after that, it really does get really good because as they now run down tube, after they get that, they put up this Viper wall, and I just want you to watch that. Right, they just open the door. Right, they just opened the door, and as they do that, what's going to come in is this Sova dart lands just as they open the door. You've also got the Sova droning just at that moment as well. So the drone is coming in, creating pressure from here. You've got pressure here on the dart that you now need to destroy. The door is opening at the same time as well. Look at the timing on all of this. And then, as I said, you use a jet smoke there on this little platform so no one can see you and which way you're going to peek out from. You KO flash through that smoke as well. This is a really, really well run execute. And now this Viper is just in an absolute world of pain on the site because you have this drone that's about here. So you can't really peek out this way because you'll get spotted by the drone and you're just going to die after you get pinged by that. So the Viper retreats back here, but obviously then the KO and the jet are going to come around there. Really, really, really good execute from the side of 100 Thieves here. So down they come. The Viper, as you can see, begins to retreat and is just caught in a world of pain. Dies to Asuna there. And then the drone actually spots people in mid, pings them off, and they just fight together. They get those kills as well. And now Iron is in a 1v5. They're going to get the spike down. It was a really, really nice round from 100 Thieves. And you see when the utility is all timed together, like at the perfect time, it looks really, really good. And this was a very good round by 100 Thieves. And now let's come to round 15, and one thing we have to note here is this is 100 Thieves bonus round. They do not have great guns in this round, and it's a common mistake we see again is that people, these pro players, you know, they have confidence, too much confidence in some instances, because what's going to happen is Crunchy is going to walk down elbow here. He actually gets suppressed, but he keeps going and actually finds the first kill. Now, as soon as he's got this kill, he's suppressed. He doesn't have a dash. There's only one correct choice here against a bonus round, and that is you got your kill. Now leave, right? You don't know how many people are there as well. So, you know, you have to make sure that you aren't dying here and potentially giving them a free gun as well. So what does he do? He peeks before even he wasn't suppressed. So he didn't even have a dash available there either. Big mistake. Iron is able actually to get the other one as the drone just turned the wrong way, but we're about to see something incredible from 100 Thieves because Will's just dashed on into the site and you know, he's on the site. That's not incredible, but this Sova and Viper are about to combo and kill Rooney here back towards the back wall. We won't really get a great look at it, but I'll try and pause it for you if I can, because they're about to shock dart, you might have just seen it there, and Viper Molly at the exact same time, and that's going to get them a kill. So they managed to get a shock dart and Viper Molly at the same time behind this wall. Really well coordinated. It's not something you normally see that happens like on the fly. Sometimes it happens for like, you know, when the spike is going down. But to do it just there was really quite impressive. So that gets them a kill. Iron is very aware. You can see he pings this box and he's going to be very aware. There was that Viper Molly, by the way, that there is someone here. And so he is able to find that kill. But now Iron's going to make a bit of a mistake, okay? And I know that this is hard to think about in the moment. Extremely hard to think about in the moment. But I always think if you're the last person, you're in the 3v2 in this situation, right? You're the last person that's, you know, fired a bullet that's, you know, made contact for your team. The opposition team is going to be mostly focused on you because you were the last one to shoot something, right? And so Iron here just has to wait, and he has to wait for a couple of reasons. One is that the KO is still pretty far away. So really what he should do here is just probably just hide in this corner if he can, you know, or just hold this, right? Just hold the swing from here. His teammates can see if anyone's coming over here to him. So he just has to hold the swing from back here towards him out there. That's all he really has to do. but he just goes exploring a bit too early. And so ideally he would wait for his teammates to make the next move. And so you can see Derek is focused on him here, and he gets the kill before these two have really moved. But whilst that's happening, we have to talk about this, because also straight after he managed to do that, Derek has put down this really good Sova dart, and neither of these two players want to get pinged by it, because then they can just be spammed. So they are going to run through the Viper wall and try and, you know, not get pinged by the Sova dart. And that is obviously a bit of a risk because they don't know what they're running into. And actually here, Derek is going to miss the shots, but Bang is able to trade out. And now he knows he has to be on this side of the Viper wall. And he gets the kill as well, winning that round for 100 Thieves. And now let's come to round 17. And we're going to see another A execute from 100 Thieves. This one isn't going to go as well, but they are going to manage to win the round. And let's talk about why. So it starts off with this KO knife in there. In towards the early A site to check no one is close. And again, it's going to be well timed. It's all going to go pretty well for them overall. They start running down the tube again, the hall, as you can see. They actually send in a KO molly here as well, just kind of an added thing that they do. In comes this Sova dart again. You got the Sova drone here as well. So it all looks very much the same as the pistol round did. But what's going to happen here? Well, one thing we have to know is the chamber lurk, okay? Lurking in this kind of area in mid, I just think is super, super strong anytime you go A on this map. And this round is really going to prove it with the chamber here. But yeah, what's going to happen? This chamber's going to get a kill on this Sova as he pushes through here, but that's not really what we need to focus on too much, because what's going to happen is that the Viper is going to get pinged by the drone that was coming through cave, and then we're going to get the Sova ult as well. You can see that they are more aware and more ready this time, Soniqs, for this mid-door aggression. And actually we had the Viper kind of one-way up on the door here. So there's a Viper one-way here for when they try and come out of it. The thing is, what's going to happen is they're going to decide to not go through the door instead, and Will's going to try and push through. So here's the Sova ult that's coming in as well. You can see it's all really well timed and doing well. There's the kill from the chamber there on the lurk. So Will decides to push through here towards the back, I think because they didn't want to deal with that Viper one-way. The thing is, he still has one cloudburst available, so I still think the correct decision really is, as that Sova ult's going off, and you know really that, you know, no one's going to be up on the stairs really close to you, as long as you Sova ult it, then you can just, you know, put down this cloudburst here and then just do the same thing where you flash through and go. I think that would have been a better idea, because here they're kind of pushing into an unknown. You know, they don't really know like how many people are here, right? There could be someone here, there could be someone here, as there is. And so it's like a bit of a risk that I don't think they had to take, but obviously this is all in the moment, and you know, a lot of decisions are being made very fast, so they don't really have the benefit of the time that I do. But anyway, Asuna ends up in a bit of a weird situation where he has to, you know, kind of deal with this now. But whilst that's going on, the Viper has come on the site, managed to get one kill, but then we got a trade here. We've had a 1-for-1 trade there on the site, so now the Sova is going to have to reclaim the spot. You can see Asuna is in a bit of a situation where there's two people on him, but he's going to use his flashes pretty well here. He sends out one, he sends out the second, swings with that, gets one, but then does get traded. So we end up in a 2v2, but we're actually not in a 2v2 because it's a 2v1, because the Jet has dashed up on top of this. Very common for a Jet to do this. You know, you can just get a bit of a line of sight down here from doing that. And again, this chamber in this lurk spot, super good spot to be in this kind of thing, because you can catch people off like that. And so get the Jet kill, and we end up in a 2v1. So a bit of a more scrappy round, but overall I would say it was a good attempt by 100 Thieves, but just some little things didn't quite go their way. We end up in a 2v1 though, and we are gonna get the final kill from Stella here as he peeks out, and they win the game for 100 Thieves. So I think on the whole for 100 Thieves, it looks a lot better. I mean, definitely Breeze looks a lot better. And I think, you know, I'd be pretty confident at this point that they definitely will qualify. I think they seem like a team that just keeps getting better each game that they play, which obviously makes sense because they're such a new, young team. So I do expect 100 Thieves to really continue to grow, and maybe even will be a threat in the next stage as well, you know, if they can keep improving each time they play.